Alright. We'll intercept this group just here. Mission update. An enemy force moved through the area you were supposed to be patrolling. We are disappointed you failed to engage it. New orders to be sent on this downlink soon. Are you shitting me? Did we just fail the endless patrol because we didn't engage some specific target that it didn't indicate in frig knows how many hours that it wanted us to kill? Oh, that's crap. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags, and it seems our endless patrol has finally actually found an end, although I'm not particularly happy with how that ended. Anyways, Satellite Recon has revealed an enemy raider group transitioning at high speed towards the South Faroe-Icelandic frontier. We believe a small unrep force is operating in the area. You are ordered to interdict this group and sink the replenishment ships in the area, and may also get a chance at enemy warships. This group is intended to support, but tenders and tankers are the mission target. So we're back onto missions now, and we're looking at a resupply force up near Iceland. From the looks. Locate and sink any more warships, avoid detection, ASW pros. Okay, so we're going to continue transitioning north, which is what we were on, continue on course. We've actually got this group here that we're going to intercept first. I'm hoping we might find it. I think this is the group that in the end, the endless patrol, and it's just disappeared. No, there it is. I think this may be the one that they actually wanted us to get. How? Come on. Get out ahead of him. Did I get him? Alright, we got him. So I think that's the one that we were actually supposed to get. I'm hoping this might actually be the group we've got to hunt down here too, although a little bit too far south, I think. We've new sonar contact 112, Sierra 1, 600 feet. We're doing 20 knots, which isn't good. So I'm going to close to 15. Our status report, we are fully loaded, Moss is on, 4 Mark 84s, fully repaired, fully loaded for combat, we're ready to go. So we're going to close, go straight to silent running. We're going to sit at 600 feet and hope to hell they don't hear us. Stop, stop, stop. Once we get below 10, we'll deploy the towed array. We can't hear anything at the moment. It's at 112.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 292, designated Sierra 1.
Alright, so let's do a quick.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 3, come right to.
Course change, we're at 7. No towed array until we've made the turn.
Bearing 299, designated Sierra 3. Make turns 4 knots.
Alright, speed at 4.
Turns 4 knots.
Now, let's take a look at what we got here. We're in a nice
Sonar, new contact bearing
conditions.
303, designated Sierra 5.
Only 86 decibels in the water. We're in a nice clear signal here, even without the towed array deployed at this point. So I'm guessing surface warship, probably escort. No, that might actually be a tanker. What is that? There it is. DDG. Okay.
Sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as escort.
If there's 1, there'll be 2. Sierra 2 is also.
Sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as escort. Come right to.
Let's continue turning it around and bring ourselves right alongside. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. That'll be enough. Alright, so let's go for Sierra 5. It's the furthest one away. We are getting active pings. We have Kiev.
Con sonar, Sierra.
I don't think this is the group that we're after.
Capital ship.
But I will definitely take the tonnage. Is this going to be like the 3rd or 4th Kiev that I've sunk this one?
Con
Another
sonar,
escort.
Sierra 3 is classified as escort.
The last time we encountered a capital ship group, there was 2 of them. We had a Cresta. Yeah, it's looking like a Cresta.
Con sonar, Sierra 4 is classified as
Alright, so
escort.
7,500, 8,000, 40,000 on the Kiev, so we're going to make sure it goes down. Cashin's down, or Cashin, and that's what we can see so far. Make sure we're straight and true. Now, it seems like the Cashin is the one here that's pinging. We're getting a 13 on active, so if it is actually that close, it would be able to hear us. But it's not firing on us, so...
Con sonar, new contact bearing 2.
Sierra 6, we didn't pick that up on passive. I'm going to suspect submarine automatically. A submarine hidden amongst the group. We're only just getting a line on it there too. I'll take that, looks like a Cresta too.
Con sonar, Sierra 6 is classified as escort.
Alright. 36, 36, 34. These are all pretty fast ships. This is a pretty fast moving group.
Contact bearing
It's Sierra 7.
0, 2, designated Sierra 7.
Again, I'll assume possible submarine. Maybe? Maybe. Don't think it quite lines up. Chilkin. Yeah, that's the one. Chilkin.
Sonar, Sierra 7 is classified as merchant.
So maybe that is the supply ship. Maybe? Although for a supply fleet escorted by a capital ship, no, that'll be just a support ship after the Kiev, I think. Assuming logical fleet deployment, which I think this mod's actually done a fairly good job of at this point. So I've got Cashin identified, and it could definitely hear us if it was pinging active, or it should be able to at least. They have to be thinking we're here. So we're going to go active on all torps. I'm going to set them all for surface running, because obviously. And I think at this range, 12.6, I don't think there's any way they're not going to hear us at this point. Yeah, we're getting pinged by multiples now. They're going to attack soon. Way, just hooking it away from the submarine and getting it clear. For those wondering why I do this, you launch from the opposing side, the submarine actually acts as a shield against the sound of the torpedoes launching, and that is actually modelled in cold waters. So if you fire the torpedoes that are away from the enemy fleet first, they are less likely to hear the sound of the launch and react than they are if you're firing the torpedoes on the same side as them at a set range. And I don't know if the mod's taken that away, but in vanilla Cold Waters that actually does work. You can shield your launch transient by firing from the opposite side. The other reason to do it is if you break a wire on torpedo launch, the torpedoes are at least heading away from the combat group, which might sound like a waste, but if you're trying to execute a sneaky attack, you don't want a rogue torpedo you have no control over giving up the game before you've got all your torpedoes in the position you want them in. So what I'm doing right now, I've got 2, and I'm sending them out to the rear, because this is the fastest way for me to get the torpedoes around behind the fleet. Also, that's their baffles, they're not going to be able to hear as well from the rear. Have the torpedoes come up behind and perform the intercept. Looks like the Kiev is in the center. I want to put a torpedo into its arse if I can, and I would like to take out that Cashin. This one here too. But once these torpedoes are detected, then I will fire the one on the opposing side, and that'll go for that Cashin because it's the closest. Or at least I'm assuming it will be. And hopefully the immediate return fire from the group will be back out in that direction, from the direction that they detect the torpedoes coming from, so that I don't have to do the torpedo beats. Not 100% that will actually happen, of course. The mod makes things somewhat more interesting, with the Ruskies being able to hear really, really, really well. But, yeah. That's the general idea. I've seen that question asked a lot. Why do you fire the torpedoes away from your submarine and away from the group and out the opposite side? That's what it's all about. I'm using my submarine to shield the launch transient, and I'm making sure that if I get an immediate wire break, because the way the game is coded, you are less likely to break a wire when you're guiding the torpedo like this. There's basically a dice roll in the game mechanics every 60 seconds or so. For the torpedoes when they're travelling like this, it has a very low chance of getting a wire break. Unless you're doing something extraordinary with the submarine, which increases those chances, which I'm not, I'm sailing low. But there's a moment for about 5 seconds when you first fire a torpedo that you can break a wire on launch, and when the torpedoes go active, their chance of the wire breaking is actually higher. At least as I understand it, the mechanics. And there is a period right when you first launch the torpedo, when that wire break chance on the sort of a first dice roll that goes, just to see whether or not you're going to break or not, it's a bit of RNG, it's actually as high as when the torpedo is fully active. So, firing the torpedo, there's always that risky first moment when the torpedo can just snap. Anybody who's played Cold Waters has had that. Anybody who's been watching the content for long enough has seen that happen. Perfectly calm, moving at about 4 knots, 5 knots, nothing much is going on. Fire a torpedo and just snap. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Although, I think they've picked up the torpedoes here, because they're already starting to turn away, so I am now going to fire on the Cashin. This one here is going to be far more direct, because I'm pretty sure they've heard these torps now. In fact, let's cut these short. Fate on target. Actually, let's turn. I'm going to turn all their active homing off at this point. We have counter torps fired. Alright, so now there's no point. I was turning them off thinking maybe they won't hear them go active. No, they heard them. They heard them. They heard them transition. Alright, so... But I can't see the counter torp at the moment, so hopefully the counter torp is going all the way over here and it's going to avoid us. Hopefully. Yeah, possibly not, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, Cashin is first target. Kiev's second. And we want to get that Chilkin as well. The Chilkin can only do 16 knots. It's slower than the rest of the fleet. So as the DDs and the escorts run past her, she's going to get left behind. We should be able to pop her really easy. It's just a matter of taking her screen out for the moment, which is why I want the 2 Keshins down, because they're nasty. And the Kiev can put helicopters in the air. Can't really see it at the moment, unfortunately. But yes, the Kiev can put helicopters in the air. And that they can give us an issue. dipping sonar and airdrop torps are a pain in the ass in this mod. So, yeah, put the Kiev underwater, then it can't launch helicopters anymore. Looks like the Kashin here is turning back to have a shot. There she is. We've got the Kiev. So you see her helicopters are on deck at the moment. She can launch 4 of them. She's also got fighters over here. Not that they really matter. I think they're actually supposed to be... I think those are supposed to be the Soviet VTOLs. I'm not sure what the hell they are, to be honest. I don't know. I've always wondered. I really should probably look into it. But they remind me of that Soviet VTOL. Anyways, a little bit of time acceleration now just to get the torpedoes kicking along. And we should hopefully... Alright, so the Kashin is up here, which is fine. I'm going to leave Torpedo 1 continuing as is. Torpedo 2, I'm going to make a little bit of a left, because we know the Kiev's trying to turn south at the moment. And we might actually, because of the Kashin speed, we might short activate 3. Let's go a little bit longer. Yep, that's the Kiev is dropping dropping countermeasures. Alright, so 1 has acquired the countermeasure for the moment, but we're going to try and guide it through the surface to pick up the Kashin. 2, I'm going to turn off more south, so hopefully it doesn't immediately pick up the countermeasure, although it will pick it up once we do eventually pick up the Kiev. And there is the torpedo that was counter-fired. So this worked. It fired the torpedo out here into the middle of Oblivion, where it is entirely relevant, which is good. That's what we wanted. Alright, so I think Kashin is still to our left. Boom, got her. Right up the bum. And boom. 1 escort down. Interesting, the Kashin over here is pounding out countermeasures so hard. The AI may not have these torpedoes actually isolated at this point, because the Kashin's no risk from Torpedo 3 here at the moment, but it's already dropping counters. So we get a torpedo into tube 1.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 2.
Alright, so Torpedo 2 has acquired countermeasure. We're gonna manually turn off here. I'm just holding the torpedo's course. You can do this on the surface, it's just you can't do it against submerged targets. Not easily, anyway. And... release. Torpedo is on the Kiev. Now this is not going to sink the Kiev. And there's another countermeasure. Cheeky bastard. Yeah, this is not going to sink the Kiev. I'm just hoping to hit it right in the engines and slow it down. That's all I want. And it looks like we're going to get that engine hit. Alright, so that's a hit in the bum for the Kiev. That's good. That should slow her down. Torpedo 3 is now homing in on... well, it's about to start homing in on Cresta. As soon as Torpedo 1 is loaded, I'm going to send that for Kiev, and Tube 2 will be dedicated to Kiev as well. And then we're going to go after that Chilkin, just in case Chilkin is our mission target. I don't think this is the mission group, but just in case, our mission was to take out cargo ships, and Chilkin is a cargo. Alright, so... tube 1 for Kiev. I'm not trying to keep this sneaky anymore. It doesn't matter. The only things that I think could have detected us are now either dead or far too busy. I don't think so. So I'm manually holding course again after Keshen. And nope, it's going to try and turn back to the countermeasure. No, stop doing that. There we go. Torpedo has acquired. This should be a single hit, single kill as well. And we're getting rocket launch torpedoes now. Just manually controlling past the countermeasure. Boom. So that's cashing down. And that... Right, so I have no idea where that rocket launch torp went. Hopefully out here into the middle of nowhere and not actually at us, although we did fire that new torpedo 1, tube 2 away. It's going for Kiev as well. We did fire that torpedo 1, the caching could have picked that up and then radioed the location, so we might have a torp coming down on our head. It's possible at least. We'll do a bit of time acceleration, we'll find out. Nope. Impact in the water. It is close enough to be a concern, though. It's a depth under here, under keel. More than enough. Well and truly more than our crush depth. Okay, so it's going that. Suspect it's going to cut through. So this is why I wish I had tools for this kind of stuff. It's going to be 4.5 to 4.6 kiloyards away as it's cutting through. That's a risk. I don't really want to change depth or change speed, but at the same time it's probably an idea that I do. So let's go to 900 feet. Depth change should be fine with the cable. Hopefully it won't affect our torpedoes. What depth is this torpedo running at? It's running just under the surface. Alright, so hopefully 900 foot gap and 4.5 kiloyards or 4,500 yards will be enough for that torpedo to not pick us up running at 4 knots. Time will tell. Alright, so we have some good news. A couple of pieces of good news, actually. Looks like the Kiev did get slowed down. It's running at about 15 knots, which is great for our torps, although we're not entirely sure on where it is. And the torpedo that was coming in behind us did not detect us, and it looks like they still don't have a clue. Rocket launch torps are landing in the water around here. There was another one that was up here too that we can't see anymore, which is great. Looks like the Cresta 1 is coming down, so we're going to have to send something its way at the moment. We'll go active on that one. So we'll send them, we'll shoot that one out behind and hook it around. That'll get rid of that Cresta 1. I have no idea what Sierra 6 is up to. This Cresta 2 here, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm hoping we're going to pick up the Kiev in any second. It looks like she just turned hard right and is trying to run, but she's only running at 15 knots. And why the Cresta 1 is so close, I don't want to pop to the surface and take a peek and see if I can get her lined up and get a location. So we're sort of banking on Torpedo 1, which I'm going to actually turn off a little here.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 295.
That's behind us. What the hell?
Con sonar, noisemaker
There's another ship just in here. Unless that's the Cresta 2. Oh, it's almost wasting a torpedo for this. No, we gotta get it. We gotta get it. We will get the Kiev. Right, so torpedo is active and heading straight for the nose of Cresta 1. Now,
Fire control, weapon acquired.
there we go. Alright, 2 has acquired a target. What has it found? Come on, give us some info here. Go active.
Noisemaker bearing 296.
Yeah, we have a ship here that we can't really see. We're not getting any feedback from the torpedoes at all. Unless it is the Cresta 2. I don't know.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 297.
This wouldn't be the Kiev. It would have travelled further than that. It is the Kiev. Oh, okay. Second torpedo into Kiev, turn 1 back. She was nowhere near as far ahead as I thought she was. Well, she's 1 on each side to the rear. She's up to 22 knots now. 1 in the bow, hopefully that'll be enough to take her out. Alright, that torpedo is going to be a little bit more of an issue. That could actually pick us up here, so we need to do something about that. And yeah, we're getting helicopters sent up now. What depth is that running at? It's near the surface as well. Well, maybe we're deep enough. We'll know soon. Alright, tube 2 is reloading. Torpedo 1's nearly out of time, so...
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Yeah, it's only down here on the time. This is how long it's actually got until this torpedo is dead. So we've got to hit the target in the next 60 seconds. Which honestly
Sonar, noisemaker bearing
shouldn't be an issue.
5. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 299.
Alright, that disappeared. Did that actually hit then? Yeah, it looked like it actually did. It tried to turn off the countermeasures right as I was trying to get control of it. So it's... Kiev's on fire and she's sinking hard to the rear. She's taken 3 torpedo hits to the rear. I really wanted that one in the bow. Hopefully trigger off some flooding and some event happening up here and actually bring it down. But it looks like she's slowing at the very least. Right, so we're going to have to do some stuff here because we've got lots of torpedoes that are definitely actually going to put us at risk here. We're going to have to do some torpedo beats soon. We haven't got much of a choice in the matter. We're going to get this Cresta first. I want it gone because that's its get its sonar out of play. No, stay at 900. I don't recall pressing any buttons. I must have changed ballast by accident. No major thing, we've still got time. Alright, 3 has acquired. Now the Cresta should only take a single hit, much like the Cashions did. Yeah, screw you, a noisemaker, I don't care.
On from your road, 2-1 ready.
Quiet. Alright, so 3 has locked up. There's probably going to be another countermeasure drop before we hit, at a guess. Thank you. Yep, there's the countermeasure. We knew that was coming. Reacquired on target, and that's not going to miss. And boom. And Cresta did not go down. She's not feeling great about herself, but she did not go down. That is unfortunate. That is most unfortunate. Alright, so towed array retracted. And gonna begin a right-hand turn. Pop down to 1,000 feet. I'm going to try and get up in between these 2 torpedoes if we can.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering eye.
I'm hoping 15 knots we'll be able to get in and up and in between the 2 torps.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
Chilkin bearing 307, contact faded. That's fine. We know where the Chilkin's going to be. It can only do 16 knots. We can run it down.
Tube 3 ready.
We probably need to go straight here.
288 helm eye.
Con,
Decrease 10.
Turns for 1.
I just wanted to do 15 to speed up our turn. 10 knots. We should at 1,000 feet. We should be able to get out over here. The biggest issue I've got at the moment is we seem to have lost that torpedo here. And I don't know if it's self-destructed. I'm not seeing an active ping coming off it. I think we might be good just to head straight out this way. I think it ran out of juice. Hope. Right, so I'm just gonna a little bit of time acceleration. I want to see whether or not we can actually get far enough away to. It's looking good. All right.
ring shift for ultra quiet.
Back to ultra quiet.
Make turns for 4 knots.
And towed array out. All right. So a little bit of maneuvering there just to make sure that torpedo wasn't going to be an issue. Now, I need to find that Chilkin again, which should be somewhere around here still. And we know Kiev's up over here, so it's time to send 2 more.
Making turns for 4.
Because I really want Kiev down before I go to flank to chase down the Chilkin. Alright, so torpedo 1 has gone active. And is now hunting our missing Cresta, which should be down this sonar line. As soon as I've got the Cresta out of the way, I'm going to actually hit the surface, pop periscope. I want to see where everything is at this point. We know where Kiev is, but it's 24 kiliyards. It looks like we're right on the money for where Cresta was. But yeah, 24 kiliyards. I'm going to have to run that down. And we have no idea about Chilkin, and I want to find Chilkin again. We got another Cresta hidden in there as well. I would like to know where that is. We're slowly whittling away all the escorts here. Another torpedo flash. Hopefully they're both really close together and we can take them both out, because Kiev should be only one torpedo away from going to the bottom. Oh, it's amazing the amount we've already fired. We started with 26 on board, we're down to 19 already. This is on one fleet. Makes you wish this thing carried more torpedoes. A lot more torpedoes. Alright, so come on.
Con, fire control, weapon sonar.
There it is.
Bearing 30.
Alright, so Cresta is relocated. Yeah, she's barely moved. She's done. This is a mercy kill. Five knots. She's got no functioning engine left. There she goes. Kill shot. Beautiful. Alright, so now let's reload. Towed array closed, and let's go all the way up to periscope depth. Let's go see exactly where our missing Cresta 2 is. We know exactly where Kiev is. I just want to know where the Cresta 2 is and whether or not we can run down, because she's still dangerous. And can we still find the damn Chilkin? Well, that's interesting. It looks like our three torps finally got to Kiev. Although there was an explosion and they were panic firing torpedoes. I wonder if one of the rogue torpedoes that was fired actually hit Kiev. Like, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen the Russians in this mod accidentally torpedo themselves. Regardless, I claim that 40,000 tons is mine. I put 3 Mark 48s into it. It's mine. The Russians don't get any points if they did happen to torpedo themselves. That's not how this works. Alright, so that means all we're missing is Cresta, Chilkin, and the Sov. And the Sov's been running since the moment our torpedoes were first detected. So, yeah, let's see what we can find.
Make depth 508 dive by.
And we're at periscope depth. Thank you. What was that about? Alright. So let's take a look here. Contact re-established. Sierra 3. Cresta Touring is Cresta 3 is 318. So it should be here. Awful lot of splashes there. The Sov also appears to be a hell of a not Those are not as accurate as I would like. Alright, so, yeah, no, we're not going to do this. I was thinking about popping the radar then. I'm not happy with the reports that I got. But, back to 500.
Make depth 500.
I'll take the readings that I've got, and I'll use them to hunt. It looks like the solve is somewhere near the Kiev. I'll take that. Get our depth down. Alright, towed array deployed. We're going to keep going in a straight line here. And I'm going to wait till we stabilise at 500, and then I'm going to fire out 2 torps. One for the solve, which appears to be coming back in this direction. And one for the Cresta too. No idea what we'll find, but we'll find out. Estimate 21 kiloyards for the shot.
Switching to passive search.
That's really weird. I don't really want to do this while I've got torpedoes on terminal, but we might have to go back to periscope depth. And I might have to pop that radar afterwards to see if we can find Cresta, because Cresta's just not on active. I think she's actually... I don't think she's here. I think she's over here, because I'm getting 2 pings. You'll see 2 yellow pings coming off. I think she's over here, but we can't hear her at all. It's possible that she's sitting in the solved shadow, and she's not popping up. But I need to know where she is, because I need to know where to send this second torpedo, because torpedo 2 is intended to get rid of the Cresta 2. Then that's it, it's just a straight run to Chilkin, and we've clean sweeped the entire area. Now the solve is doing 25 knots, so she shouldn't be able to hear anything until this torpedo's right on top of her. She's going to be spewing countermeasures all over the place. I'm sort of hoping if they're both together, they'll both be running at speed. $250 feet. Do another ping at active. So I'm not even getting a range return on the solve at the moment. Yeah, I'm getting nothing. 80 feet. I'm concerned on where these things actually are, because I kind of need to know to guide these torpedoes onto target. Alright, we're at 48. Radar up. ECM is up, or ESM is up. There they are. 1 and 2. Okay. So I was right, one was hiding in the shadow of the other. Do we get... No contact on Cresta, so Cresta's out of our range. That's alright, that's all we needed. We'll just hang around here at 55, because we don't have to worry about cavitation if we start running them down.
Regained contact on Master 6, bearing 322.
And Cresta is teleporting all over the spot, but yeah, she's just here. So, and we've lost the wire on 1. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Hopefully that's enough. That's alright. We've still got 2.
Fire control, weapon acquired.
Nope. 2, you've got a completely different target. Oh no, wait, 2 did find the right target. So hopefully this still works. should see a double torpedo hit here. Because they're both still moving at speed. There's impact one. That may not have sunk her, actually. And there's impact on two. They both ate the torps. Oh, god damn it. They ate two torps. Wow. Well, this is going to take us a while to do again. Oh, no, 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 no. Alright, dive, 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 dive. It looks like we've been counter-fired. And we've just lost the wires. So, rocket-guided torpedoes direct to our location because of the radar. That's alright, it was still worth it. Disappointed that we did not get those kills though. And yeah, we're going to lose the other wire too. There's no way in, you know, remove the torpedo beats we're going to be required to do here, that we are not going to lose this wire. There it goes. So no idea if they're going to hit at all now. Looks like we may have shaken one, although it is doing a circle back. It's probably going to reacquire us. Actually, I'm almost guaranteed it'll reacquire us. We get a torpedo on the warning here. Yep, torpedo has reacquired. Alright, ballast up full, planes up full. And hard right rudder into the circle. Look at the depth change on the torpedo. We're going to run out of ocean unless we're really... Yep, we're going to breach. Yep, we had to go from 900 feet to sticking our nose out of the water on the surface in order to be able to dodge that, and now I've got to go into a full dive. Countermeasure. Wire them up. We're going to have to give a second. And... Damn it. We just destroyed a torpedo tube. So we're going back to port again. I was sort of hoping we would have slowed down enough when we breached the surface to actually get a moss out of the tube, but apparently not. Alright, just keep the dive. Unfortunately, the torpedo beats aren't particularly fun now in the mod. Now that you've sort of worked them out, you know what these torpedoes are going to do. Every single version of torpedo beats that I've done against the mod torpedoes are exactly the same, because the torpedoes act so extreme. The only way you can successfully avoid them is to put every single option on the submarine to its extreme. Otherwise, you simply won't dodge them. And I don't know if the mod makers are actually watching this at all. I kind of hope they are, because I'd love to see it improved. But this actually makes it shit boring. Because the only way to avoid these torpedoes, so we've got one coming up, it's coming right from the rear. The only thing I can do is I've got to go 30 on the planes. I've got to take the ballast all the way to 30, otherwise I won't be able to change depth fast enough to beat the torpedo. I've got to draw a knuckle right on the turn and go hard right at 30. So maximise all of our steps, and then take the hands off the controls and move by about 1,000 feet in the opposite direction. If I do anything else, I'll eat a torp. There is no other avoidance option that actually works. Your countermeasures do not function, and knuckles are basically cosmetic for the most part. And look how close the torpedoes come every time. Now I know this, it makes for a, oh shit, you know, look how close that was sort of a moment, is what they were going for. But that's not actually what you get. Because you know, when you do the 30s like that, the torpedo is always going to be close. It's always going to miss by just a few feet. And it's going to be exactly the same every single time. In their attempt to make it all extreme cinematic, which is what they've done with Epicmod, whether or not they want to admit it or not, they've made it entirely predictable. It's as predictable as, you know, a Hollywood action blockbuster, which ironically seems to be what they're trying to recreate with Epicmod. Yeah, it's perfectly predictable, and there is no effort required to be able to dodge now. Once you know that nothing else is going to work reliably, outside of maybe timing a moss shot off and wearing a moss as a hat, which is, there we go, torpedo just self-destructs. Yeah, once you know that there's only a handful of things that you can actually really do, it just doesn't matter anymore. Drop it back to 5.
5 knots, maneuvering eye.
And we just go back to periscope depth. That gives us 1,000 feet to dive if we get another torpedo fired at us, and we can pop the periscope and have a little bit of a look and see where we can find those guys, and see if we can pick up our torpedoes again.
Con sonar regained contact on. Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Alright, that was interesting. It looks like the SOV may have sunk from damage regardless. While we were doing the torpedo beats, it looks like it just got overcome. Or did it? No, we hit it there. The Soviets torpedoed themselves. Because we only fired 2, our last torpedo was still going that way, and we just saw the torpedo hit the Cresta. The Cresta torpedoed the SOV. So... ah, well, that's payback for the torpedoes, I guess. Yeah, that's actually potentially 2 ships of their own that they've actually finished off. Just wish they'd done it before I fired the torpedoes. Would have, you know, would have saved me some torpedoes. Alright, so we finally managed to catch up with the Chilkin. Now, I actually forgot to, I stopped the recording and I forgot to restart it. We actually ran into a Juliet here, Sierra 8, and took it out. Basically ran it over on the way through. Fired 2 torpedoes on it. Waste of a good torp, to be perfectly honest. But we finally caught up to the Chilkin. Now, at this point, I just want to make this clear. This engagement, everything we did in the first bit was right down here. We're now up here. This engagement at this point has been running for almost on 2 hours for us to actually be able to finally catch this damn Chilkin. And that's with time acceleration. That's real time. 2 hours of real time play with time acceleration. There's probably been an hour's worth of time acceleration here. So this has been a 3-hour engagement at this point. So I'm just about done, but it looks like we might finally have it. Now, I do need to actually watch it.
Make turns for 5. Con sonar, no longer cavity.
Keep it at 8. I do actually need to watch it because there are helicopters still operating the area. They haven't backed off at all. Touch of time acceleration to punch us through the surface at a decent rate.
Making turns for 8 knots.
Okay, no. We're going to cavitate at anything above 5. Okay, fair enough.
5.
I should have already known that.
No longer
Periscope up. Now bearing should be 307.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Okay, we can't get over. We're not getting it on the periscope at all. There it is. Radar's got it. Down on the radar. Alright, 7.8 kiluyards in front of us. Surface running, single torpedo. Actually, you know what? We're going back to port anyway after this, because whether or not this is our target or not, we sort of have to. So, 2 torpedoes away. Just to make sure it goes down, because I'm kind of done with this. We've got to go back and get our tube fixed. With these 2 torps in the water, we've only had, I think, 2 that we've fired so far actually not hit anything, and we're actually down to just a load of 10. So we've fired 16 fish in the process of this, 15 Mark 48s, and the moths that we lost when the tube blew. So, yeah, this has been an expensive battle, but we did get another Kiev, so I'm not going to complain too much. Actually, why am I spreading them like that? It doesn't matter. Boop, boop, 2 torpedoes up. Now they should both hit, detect, and hit the Chilkin from the left and right. If they want to detect it all.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
There we go. That's interesting. That shows this, like, obviously this isn't accurate to the mod. The detection range is about half or less than what the cone here shows, but it's actually wider. There was definitely a bit of a wider thing going on there. I'll try and put 3 into the bow, while 1 goes into the stern. 1's probably going to be enough, but I don't want to mess around anymore, so let's just make sure this thing dies. Nope, we're going to need the 2. Alright, so, turning in. We'll guide this one into the bow. Actually, just actually directly into the midship should do the job nicely.
Con sonar lost contact.
There we go.
7, last bearing 307. Contact radio.
Well, that required a hell of a lot more effort than it should have. Alright. And we've got no aircraft nearby, so we can actually leave combat. Alright, so our kills for this one. We got 2 Kashins, we got the Sov, we got a Cresta 2, a Cresta 1, the Kiev, the Juliet, and the Chilkin for 99,190 tons. So just a smidgen short of 100,000 tons on a single engagement. We only have 7 Mark 48s remaining, we only have 3 Moss, and we've got damaged tubes. So thankfully we've only got a little short trip to go back, and I'm willing to bet this is not our target. Excellent results, continue the mission. Yeah, that was not our target, so we now have to go back. I'm guessing that container ship out in the middle of the Norwegian Sea is probably what we're actually after at this point. But we're probably not going to get that one. We're probably going to miss this mission. Anyways, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. Cold Waters will be returning to the channel very soon. Total tonnage 634. Sorry about the more scattered videos this week as well. I'm in the last 2 weeks of school now, or particularly the last week. I'm trying to get everything else completed at this point. So yeah, my video uploads may be a little scattered over the next 7 days or so, but I'm going to do my best to try and keep stuff up regardless. Anyways, guys, until next time, take care.